All right, folks. So today we're going to go over a next small collection here, and I'll kind of show you what I dug through here. Then I pulled out all the good cards and put them right here. Then we'll do the camera swap over and talk about it. I want to go over a few interesting things, though. It just brings back memory lanes when you see these products. These beatdown. So these beatdown related products. Sorry, it looks like it's on there backwards, but you know, they made a lot of really cool old things. These Battle Royale. The Wizards used to make these very strange, really nice, fancy packaging on the boxes and products. And they're really good quality. And what is that little guy? What is this? Good Lord, that brings back memories. Some old stuff. And they don't do these type of things anymore. These really good quality packaging and products. They just don't make that anymore. They don't commission the art. They don't do that. They don't put the time or effort into it. Anyways, and of course, these were the, these are empty, by the way. There's nothing really dramatic here. You just got some, just a little empty packaging here. But I just wanted to show you, I pulled out all the cards and everything, and wow, some of these are, that's a lot of white powder. That's strange kind of dust. So, again, empty. So I went through all these bulk things, and it just reminds me, a lot of these products, you know, we got the fat packs, and let me comment on this, too. These deck builder toolkits, I can't believe they still even made, I can't believe they made these in the past and even sold these. I think some of these products that they made, like they must have just had some sort of Timmy attacking, go after a certain clientele, because some of these things were just stupid products. I'm sorry. The packaging is nice. That's probably my favorite part is the packaging of these things. They made these really nice, actual thicker, better quality packages, but God, the products were just, they're just not useful. There's no value long term, and you're marketing and selling products as an instant collection to new people, but I just don't think it's a good experience, and that's just always been my opinion when they make these type of products and everything, these pre-constructed, semi-randomized. You get a couple booster packs and some basic land, and they charge you a premium, and I just don't like the concept, because you're essentially selling mostly bulk to people. Anyways, so, oh yeah, by the way, over here, just did a small transaction, which just bought a couple booster boxes here locally. Not much to say, but it reminded me of that video the other day where I was talking to you guys about the loose wrapping. Did you guys see that core box opening? And I was telling you guys back in the gate crash era, there was a lot of boxes. For some reason, Wizards had a lot of the wrapping that was like that. It was very annoying. Anyways, Amonkhet, worth its weight in gold. Hour of Devastation, slowly coming back from devastating your wallet, but still not my favorite set. Anyways, but yeah, I pulled out all the good cards here, and it is, look at this, look. You guys remember these too? Even these things. Intro decks. Seriously! You get, the best part about it is you'd get one booster pack a million years ago. I don't like that Wizard made some of these type of products, that's all. Anyway, so most of these are the bulk and everything I already went through. Again, some of this stuff isn't even, this is all, I think, just commons and uncommons of older cards. Nothing really exotic or anything. Yeah, 9th edition commons and 8th edition commons. I like the little dividers, though. Oh, that was kind of neat. Anyway, so we'll swap over here. I'll show you guys the good stuff. But before I do, I guess I'll show you guys this real quick. Apparently, this gentleman was into some other TCGs and CCGs over the past. And God, this Warcraft stuff brings back memories, man. Oh my God, when WoW TCG was a big thing, I mean, this thing was such a popular thing. I always like these, like, this kind of pseudo DVD looking cases, how they marketed. No, there's no cards in here. These are just sleeves. I think the other one has some cards. And again, it's just, there's a couple of the scratch off cards, even years later, that have a little bit of financial value. But I was always fascinated how they made this CCG, and they kind of used some of these, like, DVD type media packaging for the cards. Are these actual cards? Or these free trials? Oh, some codes are different. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look them up. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, there's a couple exceptions, but most of the WoW cards don't really have much value. Same thing with this massively infamous overprinted Star Wars TCG, CCG from a million years ago. I swear every kid received these things. The best part about them, I remember there was like one sealed booster pack in the middle, and then you had the light and dark side pre-made decks on each side. And man, that brings back memories. The problem was this little Premier 2-player starter kit was so mass overproduced. It was just, and the game itself was decent, but it was a little confusing and clunky back in the day. Remember, we didn't have internets and how-tos and everything about how to really understand and play games, so it kind of struggled, and unfortunately never really had that long-term traction that like Magic and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh really had. Other than that, I'm going to swap over here. I'm going to bring the good cards and some of these interesting little pamphlets here, and we'll look at this on the table here. Ready? And that's how you have the power of the internet, folks. So this was kind of the highlight of the collection, was actually one of these little gold World Championship decks, the infamous one over here from back in, God, 1999. Doesn't that feel like an eternity ago? 22 years ago almost. Jeez, man. So obviously these type of things have actually become a lot more valuable and sought after in modern times. And mostly because of this. You have play sets of like, and again, they're gold bordered. They're nowhere near the value of the regular cards. And of course you have the play set of the city. And of course you have, I think, 3 or 4, or there's 3 Ancient Tombs. That's actually reserve list. And then that's really about it. Most of their cards are nothing really dramatic. Some of these little Urza Saga rares have a little bit of value. And of course, these were fun when I was a kid. I used to write in those things and make our own cards. We all used to do that. And of course, the old the old diamonds from the was that 6th edition, originally from Mirage, I believe, if I recall. Like Wildfire, actually. And that's really most of the value, though, really comes from those few cards over there that I just put aside. You have some other little things from Urza's hair and everything, and it's actually a Voltic Key, very iconic card. Masticar, oh my god, Masticar was one of my favorite Urza's Destiny cards, man. That was such a big deal when it came out. Even the Dragon, man, that was a really big deal back then. That's really bad. Oh god, Cursed Scroll. You know, that was the most expensive Tempest card at $30 at release, man. That was, I still can't believe it's, I still think it's a good card, but, you know, what do I know? I don't know how to play Magic the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways, but yeah, moving forward, you know, it's kind of funny how weird products like this, kind of like the Collector's Edition and the ICE International Collector's Editions, have really, really interestingly gone up and evolved in public perception and value of the cards. Before I get in that little stack here, I wanted to share something interesting with you guys here. So a very long time ago, there was a company that made these magazines called Top Deck Presents, and it would be a player's guide or a checklist or some sort of product on old card games and market and different cards in general. Obviously, the old Legends of the Five Rings is a very, how do I say it? It's a very strange product line. There is still a major, well, not major, there's still a unique following, even all these years later, of people who love that game. I actually still have a lot of the sealed boxes that I bought on clearance years ago. And, you know, I don't know how to play it. I never put time into learning the particular game. And this is kind of an encyclopedia. It has pictures of the cards and everything. And it's an extremely unique game that has a very unique and a very passionate, loyal following, even all these years later. And it has basic stuff, how to play the game, battles, different examples, and different things. A lot of companies and a lot of things actually had these little encyclopedias and checklists and strategy guides. This was a very common thing in the 90s. Remember, pre-internet era, folks. Oh my god, look at this. Why should you risk? Look at this. It has advertising, PC games. So it was, and by the way, this was one I wanted to comment to. And again, I don't believe these have any value. I just think it makes for good content. MLB Showdown. So this, during the boom of the 90s with card games, they wanted to take sports cards, old Ken Griffey, and they wanted to actually make a card game out of sports cards. And this was something that was really attempted to do, to take the sports card world and turn it into a card game. It was a very, I get the concept of them really trying to do it, but it didn't really work, and they learned that the nerds in the card games weren't really sports fans, and it just didn't work real well. And then, of course, you have X-Men over here. Again, I don't know if this was the card game or if this was the just the comic cards, because comic cards were huge in the 90s. No, this is the actual card game. Yeah, you can see some pictures of the actual X-Men style cards. So then, of course, over here, you got these Top Deck. Now these, I don't know. I didn't really find any examples or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if this particular items have some sort of, I don't want to say value, but demand for it. Because Pokemon is such a massive thing. And to have anything from like here, Neo Genesis and Gym Heroes, these are these are in really good condition actually. No tears, no nothing. And I wouldn't be surprised if these products actually have some demand and loyal following, especially with how Pokemon is. Look at the condition of these. It's phenomenal. And they talk about the history, the sets, and these new cards. And remember, this is an era where Pokemon cooled off, and these things had low print runs, folks. So I would expect there's Pokemon collectors out there that are probably going to be possibly interested in some weird things like this. And it actually has the checklist that shows the old Neo cards, man. It's crazy. And it talks about top 10 cards. It's really cool, man. It's a really neat, iconic little encyclopedia. It's a fun thing. Same thing here with Gym Heroes. And same thing. Again, checklists, encyclopedias, and the top cards shows a very, very cool thing. Same thing with Fossil. Same thing with Team Rocket. And that's it for Pokemon. Then it jumps over to this collector's guide. Now, this is interesting. To remind you all of the 90s, don't get... I feel like that should be the thumbnail of this video. Right there. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get that thumbnail. Like, that is... This shows the mindset of the 90s, folks. For those of you who missed out on this 20 years ago, it was all about, you know, there was a slang term. I remember going to an LGS when I was in, like, middle school. And there was a slang term called, like, other kids would be like, hey, man, are you ripping today? Are you ripping? It's like, what? Ripping? What does that mean? Are you ripping people off? You gonna try to trick people, do some ripping? It's like, ripping? What? It's crazy, man. And so anyways, companies started to make these things saying, hey, don't get ripped off. Buy our collector's guide and learn about what the rarities are. Because there's no prices in this. Look. There's no price. Look, antiquities. There's no prices. Look, legends. There's no prices. It's literally just telling you the rarity of the card name and how old or what set it's from and how to identify the set symbols and the names. So this isn't a price guide. It's to try to teach people to not trade your common cards, or not trade your rares. There weren't mythics back then, or foils. To not trade your rares for commons. Oh my God, again, another advertising, old Risk over there. And then, of course, similar things. You had the Magic Encyclopedia. Some of these are pretty rough now. This one's literally got tape all over. This thing's ripped. Oh my God, is that a 7-Eleven advertisement? What? Now available at participating 7-Eleven gas stations? Wait. They sold Magic cards at 7-Eleven? Are you serious? What did that say? When you shop for great games at 7-Eleven... Wait a minute, what? Okay. That's interesting. Ooh, LGS. Okay, shop for games at 7-Eleven. Okay. Prophecy. They advertise on the back of all of them? Warcry. Nope. A lot of PC, a lot of computer games back then, which again was a really big thing. This one's ripped up. Doesn't even have a back. Dark Steel. Here's a more modern, newer one. Okay, and then of course some little fat pack books. Okay, I just wanted to share that. And again, I know people are going to contact me, but I'm really not looking to sell any of this stuff. I want to okay. So obviously, highlight of the big collection, by the way, is I have my first Guru land. I actually don't own any Guru lands. And of course, it's got the little Guru eye, which of course the misprint version will be upside down. They'll stamp in the wrong spot. It looks like a sinking man. He's like screaming for help with his arms in the air. And that stamp would be upside down in the water. And they call that the misprint Guru thing, like the little man in the water thing, by the way. So that's probably the highlight. This is the best card in the collection. This was not a really dramatic, expensive collection, but I just thought this was worthy of a good conversation, and it was interesting. And then I went through and I found just some common cards of just old sets, and I pulled out all the common, well, rare, but not worth anything. Terrible condition. I pull out any of the old 93, 94 cards, even the ones that just have no value, just to have them organized. And then we have some Urza Saga cards and Legacy cards, not worth much, nothing really dramatic over here. Just cards that I wanted to share that I always like to kind of sort. And then you had it's crazy because Arcbound Ravager, this modern era type card, again, was this 05? 04? 04, that was pretty close. You know, this era of cards were considered the future of Magic and powerful and amazing. And, you know, the Wizards reprint policy and direction of the game has just annihilated this era of Magic cards. And again, that's about it here. Oh yeah, so Force of Nature, again, it's any revised rares I'm pulling out nowadays. And of course, we had 4 Metalworkers and again 2 Rough Soul Rings, again revised. I pulled them out. This is all besides the Guru Island. This was the other thing I was actually most excited about was Metalworkers, because I still endlessly will accumulate my position in these cards because I still feel in 5-10 years from now, eventually the market will realize how undervalued these are. Unfortunately, they're not worth tons of money now, but I do think one day they will get there. That's really about it for today's video. We got a little foil pack over here of just basic lands and things, old foils. I thought was pretty cool. I guess I can show you guys that real quick if you're into that kind of thing. I know not many people are watching this late, but some of these old foils I just think are really neat. I honestly there's always a little niche market for people like that. These are all foils of just very old cards that I'll probably end up selling. I'd say they're probably light play condition. Some are minty. Hey, look, there's actually a couple promos in here. I forgot about that. And these are some of these I'll actually probably sell. So if some patrons are like, hey, Rudy, do you have like 40 of those old basic lands? You know, they give me a couple bucks a card or something. I'll probably sell them. Tarmogo, now these promo cards I always keep. I always like old promos, just part of history. And that's actually, now, Howling Mine is actually worth a little bit of money. These old 7th, 8th, 9th edition foils are actually, those are one of the few sets of foils I actually keep because they actually have some value. Door to Nothingness, and then of course you go back to mostly just commons over here. Boy, they look cool. All those things look really neat though. Even if they're not worth much, don't they just look cool? The old foiling and the borders in those cards. Man. And the Icy Manipulator. The Deckmaster. Is that the Deckmaster? Yep, see the little D there for the logo? The Deckmaster promo Icy. Only foil Icy Manipulator back then for the longest term. Just super cool card, man. That's really bad. Same thing, look, Incinerate, the old Deckmaster promo. Not worth a ton of money, but I just think they're cool. Now, Necro, this should be one that should be going up in value, and I still feel in the future should have a bright future and price on that one. I think that actually has opportunity. There's that infamous with a little leaf next to the logo. I remember that little guy. And a little uncommons and commons. And that is about it, folks. But overall, like I said, just wanted to share that. Oh, one other thing. So apparently this guy collected sealed wrappers. Those of you still watch, I just want to show you this. So this guy, I see this a lot. For those of you still watching, I've come across this many, many times in my years of buying collections. And what's weird about it is, see all these weird little memorabilia things and Yu-Gi-Oh! Like that's pretty cool, actually. I like this thing. Actually, I think this is pretty cool. It's like a display stand and it hasn't been used. So an old Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that's actually pretty cool. I like that. And of course the Deckmaster thing, some of these old little pamphlets and inserts, and of course these little cards. But I want to show you guys this. Look at this. I see this a lot. Ooh, look. Now these are empty. Don't get excited. These are all empty. But look at this. Look at this. This guy literally, I don't know if he wants me to sell Rudy repacks or what, but look at this. No joke. Look at this stuff. I see this all the time. This is probably the 5th or 6th time I've seen collections where people kept like used wrappers of like Magic's history. I see this kind of stuff, man. And it's kind of funny. I know it's crazy, but every time I show that with like all these historical like used Magic wrappers, I always get a patron that says, Rudy, sell me all the wrappers, man. I'll give you like 30 bucks and ship them all to me. No joke. Every time, for some reason, when I get a variety of wrappers, I don't know what the deal is, but like they end up selling for like 50 cents a wrapper or $1 a wrapper, depending or something, or a bulk deal for like 50 bucks for a ton. It's no joke. It's really weird, but I just want to lay that out there. And a lot of people did this over the years. They collected all these different wrappers. Oh my God, Electronics Boutique. Wow, does this do? This video is hitting the nostalgia, man. Anyways, by the way, what was that receipt? Can you see the receipt? GameStop. Oh my God, it's so faded. 2001? Was it October 6, 2001 GameStop? Oh, it just says Magic Trading Cards. Never mind. I was hoping it would tell you something detailed. All right, folks, thanks for watching again. Thank you to the gentleman over here for allowing me to go through the collection, see all this stuff. Super cool stuff, man. It was, again, not a ton of money here. Nothing exotic worth tens of thousands, but just a fun thing, man. I really enjoy this kind of stuff, and you know, it's just a fun experience. One of my favorite things is to kind of go through and learn about and kind of get this kind of, you know, nostalgia, man. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Have a great day, everybody.